HYCU stands for Hybrid Cloud Uptime, and we are the world's #1 leader in SaaS data protection. So what does that mean? Well, there's over 30,000 different SaaS applications in the world today, and without HYCU, only 5 of them have any level of backup and recovery capabilities whatsoever. HYCU entered the market in 2018 to change that, and today we cover about 92 of the world's most important SaaS applications.
Well, at iManage, most things start with the customer. And so we had demand for a solution like this from our customers that was seamlessly integrated into our multi-tenant cloud offering. And HYCU was already being used by some of our customers for their on-prem workload. So it's something that was tested at scale, although not built for the iManage cloud yet. And so we spent the last 1 year working with them to build the seamless integration between our cloud offering and the HYCU SaaS offering. A big piece of that, of the criteria for cert that we were looking for, was security, reliability, and scale. And the certifications that HYCU has, including 27001, SOC 2, and the compliance with the FIPS 140.3 encryption standards, made us comfortable that the standards that HYCU follows for both its architecture as well as its operations aligned with what our customers expect and what we follow in cloud iManage.
So, Neil, I think you're absolutely right. And we obviously very much appreciate this partnership. I think, it's very clear to all of us at HYCU that iManage is the leader when it comes to, sort of legal content management and legal data management. And, this is really what the entire HYCU R Cloud platform was built for. It was to identify those SaaS vendors that had incredible technology and were managing mission critical data, but then also helping to sort of support the other side of the coin, which is the cyber resiliency and the data protection. And when I think about the way the world has shifted in the last few years, you just look at the shared responsibility model. Every hyperscaler, every SaaS vendor supports it. You support it as well, which is that you are incredibly focused, aren't you, on building, a highly resilient service that works all the time, has great levels of uptime. But at the end of the day, the customer wants to control their own data. And it's sort of like, how do you square those two things? How do you make sure that you're providing true SaaS resiliency, but you're also giving that customer the power and control over their own data? And I think that's what this partnership is really about. We're allowing customers to have all the beauty that's in the iManage cloud, and at the same time, they can remain DORA compliant. They can remain NIST compliant. They can make sure they've got a local copy of their data, and they can choose where and how they store that second copy.
Well, we spent close to a year, since we initially met to develop and tailor the HYCU data protection solution for iManage Cloud, so that the experience for customers is both seamless, as well as it has some of the very specific requirements that we work with customers on. So for example, one feature that was important to our customers was the ability to recover a single document from the backup.
It's so great to sort of be able to have that conversation in a robust way around saying, look, IT's back in control. Yes, it's SaaS. Yes, it's cloud. And yet you've got that same level of control over your data that you always had. And I think that's what we really bring together, to the party, so to speak. And I think the other piece of this is, when it comes to trust, you talked a little bit earlier, Neil, about the certifications that we had, the FIPS compliance, the ISO standards, the DORA, NIST, HIPAA requirements. We sort of cover all of that. And I think in a world that is starting to regulate SaaS data in a highly compliant way, especially in some of the more compliant industries like financial services and healthcare, et cetera, all of a sudden the barrier, the boundaries on these things have changed considerably. And I think rightfully so. I think there's been so many ransomware attacks, so many cyber attacks across the world that customers are nervous. And I love the fact that today, together, we can not only provide that resiliency that iManage has natively, but also give customers that ability to recover those copies, recover even all the way down to a granular document in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, it's not just having another copy, but it's having another copy that follows the same security and compliance standards that we use in Cloud iManage.
100%.
The chain is as strong as the weakest link, right? And we certainly didn't want to introduce a weak link, in your data protection and your data management chain, and that's why we worked very closely with the HYCU team to build the seamless integration. It certainly drove our own thinking, and it's why we chose to partner with HYCU.
This partnership is one of the more strategic partnerships that HYCU has ever undertaken in its entire lifespan. With 4,600 customers worldwide, including some of the largest nation states on planet Earth, we know that we can scale our business and scale for our customers. But our commitment is to make sure we keep investing in the iManage customer base based on their needs. We learn from each other, I think, as partners. And, Neil and his team's commitment to customer satisfaction and customer delight is something that HYCU is going to make sure that we keep up with. And the way we're going to keep up with that is by continuously investing in the roadmap, investing in the iManage partnership, and making sure that we provide support not just to iManage customers here in the United States, but to iManage customers worldwide. We're here for the long term, and we're thrilled to do it.
The thing that we recognize is that this is a very specialized but very important area of data protection for our clients. And the competency that HYCU brings to this very specialized need is a 2 + 2 = 5 for our customers, and we certainly want to see us expand the relationship globally, so that's available across all regions, all data centers, for our clients.